second in my series of How to Create a Life You Love vlogs. So this one is all about trust and also to do with our relationship with money. Because I had an interesting experience yesterday, which was that I was sitting down to do my sort of monthly accounts, for want of a better word. I usually sit down at the beginning of each month and just review the income from last month and do a few bits and pieces. Anyway, everybody does a bit of banking. So that was what I was doing. I was doing my banking yesterday, and it was the first month that I am really pretty much without any of the income that I've lived on from the last 10, 11 years from one-to-one coaching. Because I'm giving that up. So yesterday I was faced with the financial reality of the decision that I've made to walk away from that. And I could really feel this kind of constriction in me. I could feel my stomach kind of tense up and go, oh wow, okay. And then the ego started kicking in my head, this is a really stupid thing you're doing. What are you even thinking about? How are you going to survive? How are you going to pay the bills? All this started kicking off in my mind. So I've just been really interested in this for the last 24 hours. If you don't know me well, I need to give you a little bit background on all this. For the last 7 or 8 years, I've been working with a spiritual teacher called Miranda McPherson, who teaches a huge amount about trust. So my trust muscle, for want of a better word, is really good. I practice a lot of trust. And I'm going to be challenged by this. I'm going to be challenged by the financial side of trusting and trusting my intuition that this is the right path for me to take, that there's something calling me to make more space, to create more freedom in my life over the next few months. And I'm just really having to put into practice now all the learning that I've had from Miranda, all the teaching I've had from Miranda, and from my own life experiences. But I just wanted to share a little bit with you of how I do that, what that actually looks like on a practical level. So the first thing is, if you're in a situation like me, and I know lots of you who are watching these videos actually are, there seem to be a lot of people going through some big changes at the moment, especially in terms of career decisions and career paths. So if, like me, you are noticing or are being hit with the reality that your income has dropped, whether it be temporarily or not, over the last couple of months. So the first thing that comes up is this: it is a kind of innate fear that we have of not having enough. I don't have enough. So the first thing I do is I become aware of that program kicking off inside me. It's like a computer program running. So first of all, I notice that, as I say yesterday, I noticed this constriction in my stomach. Oh God, what have I done? And then I notice the story that starts kicking off in my head. Oh my God, you're not going to have enough. How are you going to pay the bills? I'm sure you're all familiar with this in various different ways. And so that in itself is fantastic. If you can actually witness the emotion that's connected with it, the fear or the panic or the anxiety that comes with that, feel it. First of all, notice the storyline that's attached to it. Then you are in a really, really empowered position, because then what you can do is you can make space between you and the story. This is just a story in my mind telling me, I'm not going to have enough. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. How am I going to be able to do all the travel that I want to be able to do? Blah, 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 blah. So I have to do the first thing for me, which is to put my feet down on the ground and just literally kind of ground my energy. And that really helps with just making me feel a little bit more stable. For those of you who are into yoga, doing a practice like mountain pose mountain pose is a really good one. I'm really feeling the stability of you and the earth, and reminding yourself all is well. But then the second thing that I do is I ask myself the question, is it true? So is the story in my head true? Is it true that I won't have enough money to pay the bills this month? Is it true that in 3 months' time I'm going to be penniless and dependent on Owen, who might not have any money either. Is that true? So what I actually do for myself is I actually take myself into the fear. So I really look at the fear and like, okay, so what is the worst case scenario here? The worst case scenario. Now, I am in a very, very privileged position, and I know that in that at the home that I live in, I own it mortgage free. So the deepest fear that most of us have is of being homeless, of not having a roof over our heads. For me, I know that that's not a reality. So I acknowledge that, and I am deeply, deeply grateful for that. That may not be the case for you, but for most people that I've worked with over the last however many years, decade or so, the biggest fear that we have is of being homeless. So just ask yourself the question, okay, if I don't have enough income, if I don't have enough income coming in, what's the worst thing that's going to happen here? Now, really, for most of us, homelessness is not going to be an issue. The very worst case scenario, you don't have enough money to pay your mortgage or your rent. Most of us have friends or family who will give us a roof over our heads if we are in really dire circumstances. Now, I know that's not a nice thing to want to have to do or to even consider, but if that is the worst case scenario, could you handle it? Yeah. My worst case scenario really is that I can't afford to pay the bills. And that's probably it, actually, when I really go into it. That's my worst case scenario, that I can't afford to pay the bills. Okay, so what happens then? Well, I might incur a little bit of debt. My partner might be able to support me. I might have to dip into the little bit of savings that I have for a few months. So really actually exploring what the fear is fantastic. And then the next stage of all this is asking yourself or recognizing within yourself that actually you don't know. So my mind took a very fixed opinion. Oh, that's the only income you're going to have this month. It's maybe not enough to get you through the month. Panic. But I don't know that to be true. So my gorgeous partner Owen has just written his first book, which is coming out on the 9th of December. It's called The Possibility Exists. And that phrase, the possibility exists, is a fabulous one, because what it does is it allows us to keep our minds open and our energy fields open to all the various possibilities in our lives. And there's so many possibilities that I can't even conceive of. But there are a few possibilities that I can conceive of that mean that, I might get a few nice surprises this month. All sorts of things could happen. I actually don't know that the amount of money that has come in at the beginning of the month is all I've got to live on. And if I can be aware enough to remain open to the possibilities, to play around with one of my favourite phrases as well, which is, won't it be great when, or wouldn't it be nice if, but definitely won't it be great when. Won't it be great when I have more than enough money to pay all my bills effortlessly and easily? Won't it be great when my passive income exceeds my outgoings effortlessly and easily? Those kind of phrases are really, really juicy for me, because they just keep me open. They keep me really aware of the fact that I don't know. I actually don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen over the next few months, the next year or so. And if I can conceive of the worst case scenario, and that can cause me to feel anxious and fearful, then the least I can do is give myself the opposite possibility. So one possibility is that I might not have enough money. It's true, I might not. Okay. The other possibility is that I might be really surprised by the universe and I might end up having more than enough money. I might there's so many possibilities. So for me, it's very much about realizing the balance. So if I focus on this option, I'm not going to have enough money. What does that do? Fear, constriction, panic. If I focus on, I might get a wonderful surprise. A windfall might come my way. I don't know. All sorts of different things could happen financially for me over the next few months. I'm not sure. I don't know. That one feels kind of exciting. this option feels exciting. So which one do I want to focus on? The one that makes me feel sick or the one that makes me feel excited? It's a bit of a no-brainer. So I'm choosing to focus on this one, and as I do that, I feel a flutter. It's not a flutter of fear, it's actually a flutter of, oh gosh, I really don't know. I have no idea. And that's all I can do in this moment. And coming back to that phrase, in this moment, that's really important. So I bring myself back to here and now. That's what I was doing very much yesterday afternoon, bringing myself back to right now. So right now, I have a roof over my head. Right now, I have food in my belly. Right now, I have petrol in my car. Right now, there's some money in the bank. Right now, all my needs are met. That's the truth. And as a very wise teacher, I think it was Jesus, said, the truth shall set you free. So focus on what's true, what's real right now, not what may or may not happen in a few months' time. When I do that and bring myself back into the present moment, all is well. Tutto bene, as they say in Italy. Tutto bene, all is well. I hope that helps. I'm going to be practicing it. I'm going to be practicing deepening my trust and remaining open to all the amazing possibilities, the infinite number of possibilities which the universe has for me and my life. I hope you can do the same.